Hi guys, shaking in again. I'm at home, I'm not at the hospital. Still no baby. We went to the hospital this morning and to induce Renee today would have meant that the baby would have come tomorrow because they would have induced her this afternoon, and then tomorrow morning got her back in and IV drip and everything to quicken up the labour. But it'd be the weekend and the paediatrics team that Bub needs wouldn't be there. So they're going to start the process Sunday afternoon and then induce her on Monday morning. So on Monday morning, Bub will be here, and then we'll know what it is. We don't know the sex. That's why I keep calling it Bub all the way through, because even with all the problems that we've had, they've been able to keep the sex from us, which is what Renee wanted this time. So that'll be a surprise too. So on Monday, I'll be able to tell you all about that. And I was just walking around about half an hour, and I said to Shane, I can't think of what to say today on my live. And then I thought, well, you'll need to know about the baby. So I thought I'd talk about how I raised my kids and now grandkids, and how I feel about holding this new little one. I've told you before. Firstly, I want to thank everyone that's shared my video that I put up yesterday for you guys. And I've actually got on there this morning and just had a quick scroll through the comments, and also the comments on people that have shared it. And that's going to make you feel so wonderful when you walk in front of those people that have commented or liked, and you know they've seen it. So I'm so proud of you guys for sharing that and starting off the telling of your story, and I wish you all the best with it all. As I said, I know myself that even this morning I was walking through the hospital with Renee, and when I came back home and I was thinking about the video yesterday as I was scrolling through the notes, I thought, you know, when I used to go to places like hospitals and that, you walk up the stairs, you scour the room to see who's there, then you put your head down and you walk quickly so that you don't make eye contact with anyone. You don't want to see people looking at you. Now, I got home and thought, once again, I don't even think about my shaking anymore. I walk with my head held high. I've always got one of my pieces of clothing on, so if anyone sees me shaking, they can see it and read for themselves why. Surely if they read essential tremor and they can see me shaking, they're going to know that's why I'm shaking. So, you know, I don't even think about it anymore when I walk into places, and that's the freedom of sharing the story. So good luck to everyone. Hi everyone that's watching. Okay, so with my kids, I had 3 kids under the age of 2 and 9 months, as I've said before. So actually last Saturday was Renee's birthday. She turned 28. Dylan was still 28 until yesterday. It was Dylan's birthday. He finally turned 29. So last Saturday, 28 years ago, I had a 1-year-old, or not even a 1-year-old yet, and a newborn. As soon as I'd pick the newborn up, Dylan would want to be picked up as well. So I always had 2 babies on my hip, and then 18 months later I had Tara Lee. So I always had 2 babies on my hip at all times for about 4 or 5 years. So my hands were always going. I wasn't as shaky then, as I've told you before. I had the kids when I was 21, 22 and 23. No, 24. And so I wasn't as shaky, but I was. And especially when your hands are doing everything for your kids, you know, you giving them food, as I showed you the other day with the popcorn packets, trying to give them food and things. That's tough. But it's like anything, you know, if you haven't had a child and you look at your newborn, you think, oh God, how am I going to do this? What have I got to do with this, this in front of me now? But then it all becomes natural. So even with my tremors, it all became natural. I could do it all with my tremors. I've never ever dropped a baby yet, touch wood, especially with us getting a new one next week. Oh, jeez. But I also know my limits. When my grandkids came along 6 years ago, if I was too shaky, I'd say, I'd look at them. and I'd say, oh no, I won't pick them up today. I'm too shaky today. Or I'd sit down and say, okay, you bring them to me. And I would always tell people, you get the baby out of my arms. Don't make me try and move my hands around. My arms are more stable than my hands are. So with this pregnancy now with Bub, and we found out at first it was maybe a heart operation. Then it wasn't the heart at all. It was actually the brain, and there may have been a brain operation. I started to panic because I thought, I'm shakier now than I was even 6 years ago when the other grandkids come. How am I going to go? And also, how am I going to go if this poor little baby has stitches somewhere, which is worrying me. And I'm not going to lie, it is worrying me. But I know my limits. I won't, and it's the same with all ETs. We know our limits. A few of my ET friends from around the world have told me stories where their children are now having babies, and their children, being a first-time mum or dad or whatever, they don't want the person with ET holding the baby and picking up the baby. You can understand their worries and concerns about that, but we know our limits, and we would never ever ask to hold a baby if we think we're going to put a baby in any danger. Like I said, there is always a way to do it. Even when the grandkids were young, I would put my hand over them, tuck my hand around their arm, hold this side, and flip them onto my arm so that their head was here, they were facing that way. Have them in my arm, which is safer than me trying to pick them up by my hands. Things like that, you learn your limits, you learn what you can do, and I'll be able to show you in the coming weeks just how I do or what I don't do now with the baby. So I am a bit scared, but we'll wait and see. The baby's 6, nearly 7 pounds, so it's not going to be tiny like a little 4-pounder that I think I'm going to break in half. It's going to be a decent size at least, so that's one thing in my favour. All right, guys, well, I hope that was a bit of a blah one today. Like I said, I didn't know what I was going to talk about. So hi Kim, how are you, darling? Hi Martin. There's always ways of people understanding, and that's right, and that's why we've got to get it out there to explain to people this is what we've got, and once they understand, and then they know we can do our things. And like I said, we know our limitations. We know what we can and can't do. If we're too shaky, we won't try things. But we can come back another day and try it again. All right, guys, love you all. Take care. Have a great shaky weekend. Oh, my goodness. Christmas is here next weekend. I was thinking of doing a live with you on Christmas Day again and talking to you and introducing you to some more of my family and more of my family that have ET. If you'd like to do that, probably around the same time, but we may have messed up again now because daylight saving has come into other countries as well. So when I start this live, it's 2 p.m. Sydney Australian time. You have to work out in your country what time it is. And I think I'll go live at 11:30 on Christmas Day. So that'll be 2.5 hours earlier to whatever time this is in your country. So if you'd love to join me, USA, that'd still be, and UK, that'd still be Christmas Eve to you guys. But if you'd love to join me, let me know. All right, guys, have a great shaky weekend, and I will see you on Tuesday with all the news about our new baby. All right, love you all. Take care. Stay safe. Bye, guys.